You've probably sent or received messages that you wish you could take back. So when the delete button appears underneath your iMessage or SMS text, you click it, assuming that whatever you just unsent will never be seen by anyone. But what if that isn't true? Are deleted messages really gone? Hi, I'm here to present this proof of concept. If you are watching for the first time, this is Trust Check HQ, where we help you stay safe online and protect your wallet. So if you are interested on this type of topics, which you should be, feel free to join our community, like this video, and subscribe so you wouldn't miss any of our new videos. Now, let's get back to the story. We open our story in an undisclosed suburban home at an undisclosed time. We see a smartphone vibrating on a table. Its owner, Alex, is hopefully asleep in his bedroom. The phone vibrates again. Alex wakes up groggily and looks at the screen. It's a text from someone he doesn't want to talk to. He quickly composes a reply threatening legal action and presses send. Alex almost immediately regrets his decision. He didn't mean to send that message. He clicks the undo button, which thankfully appears and disappears. And Alex assumes that everything's okay. That message is gone forever. But is it? Now let's go to the future, a not-so-distant one, where the investigation of digital evidence is done on a daily basis in a professional setting like this one. Here in my modern mobile forensics lab, I'm a forensics expert, and my job is to extract deleted files from devices like this iPhone 13 Pro Max. This is a demonstration phone, and this particular case study has been recreated for educational purposes only. No data belonging to any living person was used in the creation of this video. All the data shown here belongs to fictitious people. To start, I'll run a logical extraction on this iPhone 13 Pro Max using my industry-leading purpose-built forensic software running in a virtual machine. With this approach, I can demonstrate the principles of data recovery without needing to physically touch the drive itself. I place the iPhone into DFU mode and unlock it with a passcode. Then I put the iPhone in recovery mode and proceed to run a full logical extraction. As the extraction begins, let's review some messaging basics. As a rule of thumb, whenever you have a conversation with someone else over a messaging platform, there are actually two separate messages created. There's a copy on the sender's device and a copy on the recipient's device. Now, depending on whether the conversation is end-to-end encrypted or E2EE, those messages may also be stored somewhere else. If they are stored elsewhere, they may also appear in some sort of cloud backup. Additionally, sometimes platforms will store things like message previews and thumbnails, and sometimes even the operating system itself stores things like recently deleted keystrokes. But are any of these copies still accessible after deletion? Let's find out. After about 45 minutes, the extraction completes, and as the results load, let's play a game of myth versus reality. Is it possible for a skilled forensic analyst to recover a deleted text message? Well, here's the answer, but don't click just yet. Give it a few seconds and see if you got it right. In the lab, I navigate to the Messages folder and notice that the 5,678 messages that were just extracted contained 12,161,689 fragments. Of those fragments, 4,213 had the word delete in it. I select a random fragment and see that while it does indeed contain the word delete, it's part of a much longer sentence. Specifically, it's part of the sentence, "This message will be deleted after 2 minutes." While this may seem disappointing, it actually demonstrates a very important point. Deleted doesn't always mean destroyed. Here's another example. I selected this random fragment, which contains the word conversation. When I drill down into it, I can see that this is part of a longer string which says the conversation will be deleted when the chat is deleted. Again, more confirmation that deleted doesn't always mean destroyed. So with that disclaimer in mind, let's dive into the data and see what we can find. Here's a clue. The first thing that I notice is that although the message was deleted by the author, the recipient never saw the deleted by author notification until it was too late. In other words, the message arrived in their inbox before disappearing. So there's at least one copy of the message which remains available to the intended recipient until it's either read or dismissed. Let's follow the same line of reasoning. When Alex deleted the message, his copy of the message remained available to him until he either dismissed the notification or powered off the device. That means there's at least one copy of the message which remained visible to the sender until the device was powered off. Let's dig deeper. Since this iPhone is running iOS 15.3.1, it's possible that the message was backed up to iCloud. This is because Apple added a feature called iCloud Backup for messages in iOS 15. So unless the user explicitly opted out, there's at least one copy of the message which remains in iCloud. But there's more. Another copy of the message may exist on the recipient's device, unless they too opted out of iCloud backups. If they didn't opt out, then there's at least one copy of the message which remains in their iCloud account. But there's even more. Let's not forget about message previews. Whenever a message is delivered to a user, the operating system creates a thumbnail image of the message. This thumbnail is often used to preview the message without the user having to fully open it. So there's at least one copy of the message which remains as a thumbnail on the recipient's device. But there's still more. Sometimes users enable the feature to show recently deleted messages. So there's at least one copy of the message which remains available to the recipient until it's either read or dismissed. And it gets even better. If the message was typed using the iPhone's built-in keyboard, there's at least one copy of the message which remains in the keyboard cache. This means that even if the user deletes the message from their sent folder, there's still a record of the message in the keyboard cache. But that's not all. Let's not forget about app databases. Many apps create their own databases which can store all sorts of information, including messages. So there's at least one copy of the message which remains in the app database. There's even more. Depending on the specific model, there's a physical piece of hardware inside the iPhone called the Secure Enclave. This component is responsible for storing encryption keys. Every message that is encrypted by default uses a unique encryption key. This key is stored in the Secure Enclave. So there's at least one copy of the message which remains encrypted in the Secure Enclave. But we're not done yet. Here's a final nail in the coffin. Remember that every message has two copies, one on the sender's device and one on the recipient's device. If the sender deletes their copy of the message, but the recipient never sees it, then there's at least one copy of the message which remains on the recipient's device. But wait, it gets even worse. Let's say the recipient opens the message before deleting it. They read something they shouldn't have and decide to clear their history. Well, if they do that, there's still a copy of the message which remains in their browser history. But we're not done yet. Let's say the recipient clears their entire browser history. Well, in that case, there's still a copy of the message which remains on their device until the next time it's powered on. So, what have we learned here? The fact is that no matter how hard you try, there's always a copy of your message which remains out there somewhere. It might be on your device, it might be on the recipient's device, it might be in iCloud or the cloud, it might be in the app database or the keyboard cache, it might even be in the browser history or the browser cache. But what does this mean practically? Well, here's what I call the privacy playbook. You should always assume that anything you send or receive can and will be seen by someone who isn't supposed to see it. If you want to mitigate this risk, You should always encrypt your communications using end-to-end encryption or E2EE. You should always disable message previews. You should always audit your cloud backups. You should always factory reset your device with encryption enabled before giving it to a third party. You should always revoke old sessions. You should always be mindful of the recipients. The bottom line is that visibility does not equal destruction. And now you know that there's no such thing as a private text message. Thanks for watching. If you found this video informative, please hit the subscribe button below. And be sure to check out my next video, Can Photos Reveal Your Location even after you crop them? See you there!